written by Emma Crossenburn, illustrated by Katharina Baudy. Margaret could tell something was wrong the moment she heard Mother's voice. "Margaret, come here," Mother called. Margaret set bowls of corn pudding in front of her two little brothers, wiped her hands on the apron, and hurried to the parlor. Mother sat in front of the fire, holding a small scrap of paper in her hands. "What is it? Another message?" Margaret asked. She knew Mother was a pot of group, a spice helping the patriots. Now that the War of Independence was going on, she had often seen red-haired men come by the farmhouse. After he left, Mother would rush to bring information to the Blue Inn, 15 miles away. It wasn't dangerous work, but the British soldiers didn't usually suspect women of being spies. So far, Mother had escaped notice. Margaret could only hope that would continue. Mother held the scrap of paper. Yes, and an important one. General Howe and force of 10,000 men planning an attack tomorrow at White Marsh, where William is. Margaret gasped. William was Margaret's older brother. He was an aide-de-camp to General Washington. The army had been encamped in the region for several weeks. Margaret didn't want to think about what would happen if they were taken by surprise. Margaret usually stayed home with the boys, while Mother passed along these messages. However, Mother had been sick for several days. She still looked tired, pale and weak. Margaret knew she was worried about William too. "Mother," she said, "let me go this time. Just stay with the boys and rest." "No, Margaret," Mother protested. "It's too far and too dangerous." Mother was right. The colonies were dangerous right now. British sentries stop anyone who looks suspicious. Margaret had heard stories of spies who had been arrested and executed. She knew that even a young girl wouldn't be spared if she was caught. Margaret was afraid, but she pictured William huddled by the campfire with the other soldiers. If this message wasn't delivered quickly, many more lives would be at stake. Margaret pushed down the fear inside her. "Mother, you're sick. I'll be safe and I'll be fast," she insisted. Mother nodded and pressed the paper in Margaret's hands. "You're all right. I am not strong enough to ride that far today. Thank you, Margaret." Margaret turned the paper in her hands. "This is blank," she said. Her mother smiled. "It's written in invisible ink. Just one of our little tricks. Now bring me your cloak." "Why?" Margaret asked, taking her red thick cloak from the bag near the door. "I'll show you." With more pairs of scissors, Mother cut a few other stitches on the cloth, covered top button of Margaret's cloth. As Margaret watched, Mother lifted the edge of the cloth covering the button and let the knot flat against the bare button. Then she moved the cloth back under the button and secured it with two niches. "There, the message is safe." Mother held out the cloak. It looked just the same as before. No one could have ever known there was paper folded into the top button. Mother took Margaret's face in her hands. "Margaret, listen to me," she said. "It can be hard to know who to trust these days. You must not let on. Don't speak to anyone but the innkeeper." "How will I let him know I have the message?" Margaret asked. "Tell him you need to hang up your cloak. He'll understand." Margaret felt tears welling up in her eyes, but she quickly blinked them away. She couldn't cry right now. Too many people were depending on her. "Be brave," she told herself. Before she could change her mind, Margaret found herself in stables tightening the grip on her favorite shoe. Brownie. Quickly she mounted and drove to the front of the house. Snow fell thickly on her head and shoulders and coated Brownie's name. The air beat her cheeks with snow, with her heart already pounding in her chest. Margaret knocked Brownie into a canter and followed the familiar roof path from the gate out onto the main road. Her journey had begun. Hurry, hurry! Margaret's mind beat a rhythm that matched the pounding of the brownie's hoof on the frozen ground. The dirt road stretched before her, curving into the horizon. Fields on either side of the road, dotted with frozen white stubbles from the hay harvest. It would be late afternoon before she reached the crossroads where the inn stood. The camp was several miles beyond that. She knew where Mother had described it. Now she pictured a vast field covered in snow and filled with hungry, half-frozen men, huddled by the fires. Margaret saw Brownie to let the mare breathe. Margaret's feet were numb in the stirrups. She changed hands on the rein every few minutes, sliding the other hands under her cloak. Soon she spotted a British shed up ahead. The red cow stood by the side of the road, musket at the family across the street. "What?" she shouted when she saw her. "What is your business?" Margaret's fingers trembled as she read Brownie in. "So, I'm going to town to look for Dr. Cottingham. My mother is very sick." Her mouth felt dry as she spoke. The soldier narrowed his eyes. Margaret wondered if he could hear her heart pounding. She waited her eyes and hoped she looked innocent. The soldier scowled and stepped forward. If to grab Brownie's rein, Margaret grasped, but his hand stayed on the musket. He jerked his head. "Right on," he commanded, letting out a great breath. Margaret released the reins and nudged Brownie into a gallop. She bent over Brownie's neck, sweating under her cloak, as the horse's powerful body stretched out beneath her. "Please hurry, girl," she begged, pushing the tire shoe on. At last the blue ball rose up in front of her. Margaret drew up at the door and threw Brownie's rein over the trail in front. Inside, the inn was warm, steamy. It smelled of the stove cooking over the open fireplace. Farmers and soldiers were scattered among the table, and loud laughter and clink of metal dishes filled over the air. Margaret hesitated as she stepped over the fiddles. There were so many people. Could they see her secret? One of them could be a loyal spy for the British. Her fingers fluttered with the note. She forced herself to put the end at the side. Margaret kept her cloak around and her hood hiding her face as she made her way inside. Yes, the innkeeper looked a rough man with a long side. Sir, was that the man near the table looking at her? What if the innkeeper didn't understand? How she spread the message without anyone noticing? Yes, the innkeeper said again impatiently this time. "Please, sir, I need to hang up my cloak. It's very wet. My mother wants me riding home with red clothes." She let her eyes meet the innkeeper's as she held on the wet cloak. He only touched the top button. She gently begged him to understand. She saw his eyes flick over the cloak at the button as understanding dawned on his face. "Just warm yourself, girl," he drawled. "I'll dry your cloak myself." He took the glove and turned his back on the room. After several long minutes, he dropped his shoulders again, looking down. The rest of the fabric covering the top button was loose. "Get yourself home if in this coat," the innkeeper said. "Tell your mother that all will be well." Margaret felt glad to go ride her horse, and secure her cloak and tuck loose fabric under the button. The message was delivered. The men could prepare for the check, and perhaps William would come back to them one day. Outside, Margaret mounted Brownie once again, relieved that she had completed her mission. She could hardly wait to get home and tell her mother. She didn't even mind. She thought of the long, cold miles ahead.
We click on the icon.